to help us get there. Okay. All right. Speaking of the backlog, just a year ago, we had nationwide almost 600,000 claims pending in the backlog. We had nearly 1 million claims pending total, but nearly 600 claims pending nationwide in the backlog. Those are claims pending more than 125 days old. And our accuracy level was about 84%. We've put a lot of things into place nationwide. I'll talk about some of those. And so that was a year ago. But just a couple of days ago, I ran some numbers for the nation. We went from 850 claims a year ago to, nearly 600,000 claims in the backlog a year ago. We're down to 490 claims in the backlog just last week. So that's big improvement. Very proud of that. But again, we're talking about 490,000 claims that we have to do between now and the end of 2015. Regarding our accuracy, actually we started about 84% a year ago. We're up to 86%. I want to let you know in Portland, we're a little bit better than that average. We're about, our average is just over 90%, but again, the entire nation needs to get up to 98%. Some things that we're doing, and there's a lot going on nationwide within VA. How many of you out there have seen General Hickey, our Undersecretary for Benefits? Have you seen her on C-SPAN at the congressional hearings with the House and Senate? Have any of you guys seen her speaking to the committees on Veterans Affairs? They're not pretty. They are not pretty hearings. She takes a beating. And I just want to let you know that if you thought that was bad, I want to talk to you about what it looks like from inside. If you thought that was a mess from the outside, inside I compare what we're doing right now to flying a plane at 30,000 feet. And while we're flying that plane, we have people climbing out, changing the engine on one side, and then replacing the tail, changing a wing, and then another wing. And then also we're going to change all the computer system within the plane, and then move the chairs around. We're doing all that at 30,000 feet, knowing that we cannot fail, we cannot let up, we must continue to fly and move, we cannot crash. But that is what is going on nationwide in the claims processing business of VA across the nation. So it's fun times, I got to tell you, fun times right now. Right now, what we're doing, in April, we set out on a mission nationwide to eliminate all claims that were over 2 years old. And the nation had about 50,000 claims that were about 2 years old. And there are reasons why they got that old. But in April, mid-April, we had about 50,000 claims pending. And our goal was that in 2 months, by mid-June, we will get rid of all those we will work those 2-year-old claims, get them processed, get those veterans paid. We almost got there. We're about 97% done. For Oregon, by July 30th, we had no claim pending over 2 years old. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of our folks in the Portland office, and I'm proud that we're able to help our Oregon veterans. So that was great. We got mostly there. Across the nation, we did very well, but that's not good enough. So starting in mid-June, we set out to work and process all claims over 1 year old. We're going to get those all done by the end of our fiscal year, which is September 30. Across the nation, there are 176,000 claims over 1 year old pending right now. We here in Portland, we have about, or for Oregon, we have about 2,700. So we got to get all of those done by September 30. And that's what we're working on right now. So we are hard at work, very focused. We've got our people coming in on weekends. We're putting all our resources to working those one-year-old claims, but we will have those done by September 30. Those will be done. Thank you. We will do it. Of course, it doesn't end there. So the next thing will likely be we will work on any case that's 9 months old and get them all done. But pretty soon we will be to that point where no claim will be pending more than 125 days old by the end of 2015. So we're on our way there. We're making those steps, doing all the things we got to do to get there. I want to talk to you about one of the things that we're using to complete claims within 125 days is something called the fully developed claim. And I'm here today not just to give you some information about VA, but also to make my pitch to you. So if you're a veteran that wants to file a disability claim now or in the near future, this is the way I want you to do it. There is a form called the VA Form 526EZ. EZ. That's the form I want you to use to file your claim. Even better, I want you to go online. Don't throw stones at me right now, but I want you to go to online and use eBenefits. So VA's eBenefits web. I want you to sign in there to file your claims online. And why am I telling you to do that? One is that if you do that online or if you use the 526EZ, it actually will save us time, which means it'll save you time. And we're going to get your claim done. Our goal is to get it done within 90 days. So we want you to use that form. That specific form, the 526EZ form, which is very easy to find. In fact, I have about 60 of the blank forms over here in the Department of Veterans Affairs van. I have about 60 forms there. If you guys need a form, you're going to be filing a claim, use that form. That'll help us save time in processing your claim. That form provides for all the notices that you need up front, and it'll save us time in filing your claim and completing your claim. Okay? That's my pitch to you. If you're going to file a claim, the 526EZ, or even better, log into eBenefits, create an account, because that's the way that we're going to be dealing with our customers in the future, is going to be through this web-based portal where you can file claims, you can look at the status of your claims, you can communicate with us, we're going to communicate with you that way. So that's going to be the way of the future. But in the interim, use the 526EZ. So thank you for that. Looking forward to you all filing claims on the 526EZ form. Couple things on fully developed claims. One, did you know that there is a law that was passed recently that says that if you file a fully developed claim with VA using the 526EZ form, it's an original claim, so you never filed before, it's your original claim, we can actually pay you a 1-year retro. So even if you filed it today, so any claim filed between August 6th of 2013 and August 5th of 2015, you file an original claim on a 526EZ, it's a fully developed claim. We're actually going to, even if you just filed it today, we're going to pay you a 1-year retro. So that's what Congress essentially passed and said that's an incentive for veterans to use that form. So again, if you're going to be filing a brand new claim, never filed a claim before, use the 526EZ. It's a fully developed claim, which means a fully developed claim, by the way, means that you're going to provide your private medical records along with your claim. We go after the federal records, we get an exam done. But if you use the fully developed claim on a 526 EZ, it's your very first claim. You file it between August 5th, 2013, or August 6th, 2013, August 5th, 2015. We're going to pay you a 1-year retro. It's like a bonus. So if you haven't filed that claim before, do that now. This is a good time to do it. Get your 1-year bonus in there. Some of the things that are happening inside VA that may be transparent to you, but if you've seen pictures in the paper of VA regional offices, not us in Portland, but there were pictures in the paper in Winston-Salem, Carolina, of claims files falling over cabinets, up to the roof full of claims folders. I've seen some of those pictures in the news. That is the VA of yesterday. We are moving to paperless. That can mean all kinds of things, really, but we're moving to paperless, which means that any claim that comes in will come in. It'll either be electronic, because you'll file it through e-benefits, which I'm encouraging you all to do, or if it comes in on a piece of paper, it gets scanned in. But the whole point is that every piece of paper for that associated with that claim will be electronic. No more of those stacks of claims folders. Everything will be electronic, which in one way is good. That means the more information available to us, the more people that can help you. So if you have a question, anybody around the nation can help you. In fact, anyone around the nation can actually work on that claim. So we're looking at the future is the paperless claim. It allows for lots of efficiencies. It allows for help from different parts. And that's just one step within the organization, mostly transparent to you, that we're going to be using in order to get us where we need to be by 2015. And that's no cases over 125 days old. How are we going to get to that 98% though? That's the big one. Anybody can put out a ton of cases, right? With poor quality, bad decisions. Anybody can do that. We've got to do it with a 98% accuracy. So what we've done internally is we've taken perfectly good production folks, in fact, some of the best folks that we have, and have put them into quality teams where they review the work of others. So across the nation, we are building a quality group, a cadre of quality reviewers. Not only do they review the completed work of people, but also any work along the process. They are pulling work out, reviewing it to make sure it's okay, putting it back into the pipeline until it's completed. And by doing that, we've already seen this increase in quality since just a couple of years ago. So we've had that in place about 2 years now. And we here in Portland were one of the first to kick that off. And as a result, we are seeing good quality levels, not great, but good quality levels out of the Portland office so far. So before I end, so I've made a couple of pitches there, but before I end, I just want to make sure that I've left you very clearly with the message that if you file a claim, I want you to file it on the 526 EZ, because first of all, that automatically causes us to look at it as a fully developed claim, which by definition means we will expedite that claim. So it's the 526 EZ, or go online and file a claim through e-benefits. If you do that, we will also look at that claim as a fully developed claim and expedite it. It'll help us get to that 125-day mark. It'll get you the benefits that you deserve earlier. And we can avoid these 2-year-old claims, these 1-year-old claims, even 6-month-old claims. Everything gets done within 125 days with an accuracy level of 98%. And that's where we're going to be at the end of 2015. With that said, I want to say thank you again to all of you for listening. I appreciate it. Again, I want to say thank you to Victor to extending an offer to the regional office so we can spend a few minutes here sharing. I will be here. I'll stick around. If you do have any questions about your claims, I'm happy to help you out. Can talk about them. I may have to take them back and do some research, but I'll be around, so just come track me down. But otherwise, again, have a great picnic, and again, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, and please take him up on his offer. He will be here for the rest of the day during the picnic, enjoying lunch, but please interrupt him because that's what he's here for, to help serve you. Our next speaker served 3 years in Iraq, leaving the United States Marine Corps as a captain. During his time in service, he was awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement and Commendation Medals. He served Governor Kitzhaber and his predecessor, Governor Ted Kulongoski, as a senior policy advisor for military and Veterans Affairs matters. Tapped to lead the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs this past spring, he has a positive connection within the veteran community, serving veterans of all eras. I believe he is also finding out that traveling the state of Oregon on behalf of veterans can be a non-stop adventure. And I'm certain today's Vets Helping Vets HQ picnic is a welcome change. Please join with me in welcoming Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs Director, Cameron Smith.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I have a simple message today. Victor Kuhn said I had an hour keynote speech, but even as a young director, I know not to compete with that gorgeous pig that is roasting over in the corner back there. And I do want to thank Kevin Kalama for covering the claims process and our partnership with the federal VA. The claims process for our veterans and our military families is complex. It's a huge book of statutes. And we rely on our veteran service officers at the county, state, our national service organizations, and the federal VA to help our veterans get their benefits. And I want to thank Victor for all his inspiration on Vets Helping Vets. While he is the inspiration, he could not do it alone, and it takes many volunteers that are here today. And I just want to say a few things. We have all eras of veterans here today, and every generation is unique, but we all have that shared bond at the same time. And I want to call out one generation today, our Vietnam veterans. They did not receive a welcome home in their own time, but that did not stop them from rallying to help serve one another, just like vets helping vets. And when I came home from Iraq in 2004, 2006, and 2009, even with the best in family support, friends, and mentors, having that veterans connection directly is important. Vietnam veterans have been there for their own generation, but they have also caught my most recent generation. We have learned our lessons and not turned our back on our veterans and military families. Our Vietnam veterans are also leading the charge on our World War II memorial, looking to generations, honoring previous generations that came before them. And they have my deep thanks for their dedication and commitment. Now, the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs, I've been serving as director since March, and it's been my honor to join the team after working for Governor Kulongoski and Governor Kitzhaber. And we have an amazing staff, an amazing team, and we have core programs with the Veterans Home Loan Program, the Veterans Home in the Dalles, and the new one being built down the road here in Lebanon. We have our claims and counseling mission to connect veterans and their families to their benefits that they have earned in partnership with our county veteran service officers. And as we heard from Kevin, we have all of the benefits at the federal level. But even with those robust programs, we know that the needs of our veterans and military families across healthcare, education, employment, housing, you cannot address those diverse needs simply with government programs. It takes a community wrapping their arms around their veterans, like volunteers here today. Those partnerships, whether across the community organizations, with our community colleges, our universities, our faith-based organizations, that is what will turn the dial and make sure we support our veterans. And on a gorgeous summer day here in Oregon, it does not feel like we are a country still at war. But I'd like to note that we still have thousands of troops deployed overseas, in Afghanistan and around the world. And of special note, at the end of July, our most recent Oregonian soldier was injured in an IED blast that attacked his unit at the end of July in Afghanistan and took the lives of 3 of his fellow soldiers. Specialist Nick Welch of Mill City, Oregon, survived that initial attack and made it back to Germany, where his family linked up with him. He was even able to be medevaced all the way back to DC, and then he succumbed to his injuries. He is our most recent casualty of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and will be buried at Willamette National Cemetery tomorrow. So on behalf of Governor Kitzhaber, thank you to Vets Helping Vets to make sure we are there for our veterans and military families. I will be here throughout the day, and I appreciate connecting with you. God bless.
Thank you, Director Smith. At this time, we have several special presentations. If I could have Pat Bailey, Victor Coons come up to the podium. Or sashay up to the podium. It's a big step. Are Tom Mann or Jim Willis here today? I haven't seen them. Well, those are the special presentations. We'll announce it. Yeah. And you're on.
Dave Troyer is going to break the plate.
Pat has.
Are you supposed to come up yet? Where's the plaques?
They're under there, aren't they?
There are no plaques.
No plaques.
I was not given any.
All right, I'll be back. I think I know where they are.
Two people that have stepped up and helped me make Vets Helping Vets HQ what it is. In the very beginning, many, many years ago, was Jim Willis. He was the past director of Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs, and he has since retired, but continues to work with veterans. Is that better? Can everybody hear me in the back? Jim Willis spent many, many years trying to change what system we've had in the past and make it better today. He's worked hard at it. He works with the local organizations here in the Valley, and he still continues to reach out even in his retirement. And we want to recognize Jim Willis. Are you here today? Jim has not come in yet. I know he said he was coming. But we want to give Jim Willis, let's give him a big hand for what he's done over the last 20 years for veterans. Another man that I expected here already, and he's probably running late, that just retired, and that was Tom Mann from the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs. This man actually took his time on his off hours at night, after working all day, to come down and teach classes for the advocates of Vets Helping Vets HQ. I want to give Tom Mann the recognition that he deserves. He's retired and he's went into the ministry, and he's going to be doing wonderful things out there for veterans on a continuous basis and continuing working through our organization. So let's give Tom Mann a big hand. Each one will receive a Vets Helping Vets HQ plaque. It's not a handout, it's a hand up. We want every veteran to know that. What we do is not a handout, it's a hand up. We want to improve your lives. Our job is to make your life more enjoyable and able to take care of yourselves. We'll advocate for you. We will work and go as far as we need to go to make it happen. So, in recognition of their dedication to Veterans 2013, for both of them, give them one more round of applause. Thank you very much.
At this time, we have one more special presentation that will be given by Pat Bailey, chairperson of the Vets Helping Vets 6th Annual Picnic.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're all here, and I'm tired. Oh. You people touch my hearts, and one way I want to, and I prepared no speech. Can you figure this out? Today we want to pay special recognition to the man and the woman that did it all. Victor Kuntz, we love you. Juanita, would you come up here? Where is it? Here's a plaque to Victor and Juanita. It says, to Victor Kuntz, founder and president of Vets Helping Vets HQ, I don't want to pay a quarter. Thank you for dedicating your life and giving your time to helping our nation's veterans. And to Juanita Kuntz for standing with and alongside of Victor, giving him love, courage, and strength. God bless you both. Vets Helping Vets HQ, the board of directors, and members. And for a lady, ladies need flowers. Here you go, sweetheart. These people pour out their hearts, and let me tell you, they not only are they pour out their hearts, they've got an awesome blood family. They're all throughout here today, and they've been here yesterday and all week long. Juanita's sister from Hawaii is here, and I was shocked. She's 80, and she's been out here helping us too. There's Loretta taking pictures. Ben is here, and Nancy and Angel and her family. They're all here. They're wonderful. They love you vets just as much. They're just as dedicated to you as this couple is. Let's give them a big round of applause.
At this time, we are going to be honoring our Oregon fallen with a tribute, and a tribute from the Troops organization. I'm also going to be asking, we need 2 more readers, and if anyone would care to come up and assist in reading of the names, it will help us out. Tribute to the Troops of Oregon became the first official chapter of Tribute to the Troops on the West Coast. The incentive for forming this chapter came from the inspiration and desire of a Gold Star family who waited and wanted to honor and show respect for their families of fallen heroes. This family formed the first inaugural ride in September 2011. This ride provided the spark for several Oregonians to pursue the goal of forming an Oregon chapter. Their chapter is comprised of members from all walks of life, with a common desire to honor our fallen heroes and show respect for their families. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dave from Tribute to the Troops.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank Victor for what he does, and also for Department of Veterans Affairs for what they do. I didn't realize I was supposed to say anything, so thanks for coming out today. If you need any information from us, I got a booth set up over there, a little plaque that we give to families when we go visit them. We just had our ride a couple weeks ago. Visited 6 families that have lost soldiers. A very emotional ride. For anybody that rides motorcycles, you don't have to be a motorcycle rider. Look us up on Facebook. Look up us on our website. We post all of our events ahead of time, and we welcome anybody that wants to connect up with us.
Who will be the first reader? Who will be the first reader? We'll start and we'll just go down this way. And ladies, if you could just
United States Army Sergeant Elliot W. Scott. United States Army Corporal Graham McCann. United States Army Captain Drew Jensen. United States Army SFC Adrian Marcos Elizadale. United States Army PFC Daniel Allen Leckel. United States Army Corporal Corey Weens and Cooper. United States Army Specialist Michelle Ring. United States Marine Lance Corporal Stephen Stacy. United States Marine Lance Corporal Juan Manuel Garcia Schill. United States Army Specialist Joseph P. Kinney. United States Army Specialist Dominic N. Rodriguez. United States Army Sergeant First Class Christopher Henderson. United States Marine Lance Corporal Dale G. Peterson. United States Army Sergeant Michael Lewis Vaughn. United States Army Private Brett Andrew Walton. United States Army Sergeant Jason A. Schaefer. United States Army Sergeant First Class John S. Stevens. United States Army Sergeant Nicholas J. Leitner. United States Marine Lance Corporal Nathan Windsor, and Oregon National Guard Sergeant Long N. Nigyan.
United States Army Sergeant Joseph A. Lingsdorf. United States Army Sergeant Eli Rowe. United States Navy Petty Officer 3rd Class David M. Mugg. United States Marine First Lieutenant Michael Johnson. Oregon National Guard Sergeant Earl D. Winner. Oregon National Guard Specialist Taylor D. Marks. United States Marine Corporal Matthew R. Limke. United States Army Private First Class Richard A. Dewater. United States Army Chief Warrant Officer Joshua M. Tillery. United States Marine Lance Corporal Robert L. Johnson. United States Army PFC Cody D. Ingleston. Oregon's National Guard Captain Bruno G. DeSolenti. Oregon National Guard Lieutenant Colonel James L. Riley. United States Army Private Tan Q. Nogo. United States Army Sergeant James M. Treeberger. United States Army Corporal Jessica Ann Ellis. United States Army Lance Corporal Dustin L. Canham. United States Army Private First Class Joshua A. R. Young. United States Army Sergeant Michael W. Miller. United States Army Sergeant Zachary W. McBride. United States Army Sergeant Joshua C. Brennan.
United States Army Private First Class Brian A. Browning. United States Army Private First Class Ryan J. Hill. United States Army Sergeant Sean P. Finnerty. United States Army Sergeant Brennan C. Gibson. United States Army Corporal Billy B. Ferris. United States Army Specialist Douglas C. Desjardins. United States Marine Lance Corporal Derek W. Jones. United States Army Private First Class Dean R. Bright. United States Army Corporal Chase A. Hagg. Oregon National Guard Staff Sergeant Nathaniel B. Lindsay. United States Army Reserve Staff Sergeant Robert J. Paul. United States Army Sergeant First Class Richard J. Hinks II. United States Marine Lance Corporal Randy L. Newman. United States Army Private Joseph R. Blake. United States Navy Petty Officer, Second Class, Mark A. Lee. United States Marine Captain Christopher T. Pate. United States Staff Sergeant Jason M. Evie. United States Army Specialist Robert L. Jones. United States Army Private First Class Thomas L. Tucker. United States Army Specialist Jeremy M. Lovelace.
United States Army Specialist Brandon J. Prescott. United States Army Captain James D. Nell. United States Army Specialist Maubrey J. Anders. United States Army Private First Class Andrew J. Keller. United States Marine Corporal Keaton G. Coffey. United States Air Force First Lieutenant Justin Wilkins. United States Marine Corporal Adam J. Baez. United States Army Master Sergeant Daniel R. Adams. United States Navy Hospitalman Riley Gallagher Long. United States Army Private First Class Bryce M. Scott. Oregon National Guard Specialist Andrew Evan Lara. United States Marine Sergeant Matthew J. DeYoung. United States Marine Sergeant Ian M. Tawney. United States Marine Lance Corporal Joseph E. Rodwald. United States Army Chaplain Captain Dale Allen Getz. United States Army Private First Class Anthony T. Justison. United States Army Private First Class Aaron L. McLyman.
United States Marine Lance Corporal Gary Van Leuven. United States Army Specialist Philip Rogers. United States Army Private First Class William Ramirez. United States Army Sergeant Travis Muthart. Sergeant Major Eric F. Cook. Oregon National Guard Specialist Nathan Nakis. United States Army Specialist Christopher Wesley. United States Army Specialist Joseph Blickenstaff. United States Army Chief Warrant Officer Eric Kesterson. United States Army Staff Sergeant David S. Perry. United States Army Sergeant First Class Christopher Willoughby. United States Marine Corporal Travis Braddock Nall. United States Navy Hospitalman Joshua McIntosh. United States Army Staff Sergeant Robert Stever. United States Marine Captain Aaron Contreras. United States Air Force Major Gregory L. Stone. United States Marine Second Lieutenant Frederick E. Percorny, Jr. United States Army Sergeant Donald Walters. United States Army Reserve Specialist Brandon Tobler. United States Marine Lance Corporal Brian Bertrand.
United States Army First Lieutenant Naona Ho. Washington National Guard Sergeant Damian Fickett. United States Army Specialist Edwin Roodhouse. United States Army Sergeant David A. Metz. United States Army Specialist Jeremy E. Christensen. Special recognition, New York National Guard Specialist David L. Rostam. Oregon National Guard Sergeant David W. Johnson. United States Marine Lance Corporal Aaron Boyles. Oregon National Guard Staff Sergeant David J. Weisenberg. Oregon National Guard Sergeant Benjamin Eisenberg. Oregon National Guard Private First Class Ken Leaston. United States Marine Corporal Brian Kelly. United States Marine Lance Corporal James Houston, Jr. Oregon National Guard Specialist Eric McKinley. Oregon National Guard Sergeant Justin Everly. Oregon National Guard Specialist Justin Linden. Oregon National Guard First Lieutenant Eric McCrae. United States Army Reserve Private First Class Joseph Jeffries. United States Marine Lance Corporal Bob Roberts. United States Army Specialist Chase Whitman.
United States Navy Petty Officer, 3rd Class, Marcus J. Nettles. United States Army Specialist, Ryan Doran Walker. United States Army Staff Sergeant, Michael S. Zyla. United States Marine Lance Corporal, John M. Holmesen. United States Army Sergeant William Mewson. United States Marine Lance Corporal Tyler Schroyer. United States Army Specialist Vernon Widner. Oregon National Guard Warrant Officer Adrian B. Stump. Oregon National Guard Staff Sergeant Tane Baum. United States Navy Petty Officer, 1st Class, Jeffrey A. Lucas. Oregon National Guard Sergeant John B. Ogburn III. United States Army Sergeant Jacob Simpson. United States Army Private, 1st Class Specialist Ricky W. Rockholt, Jr. United States Navy Hospitalman Aaron A. Kent. United States Army Private First Class Kevin S. K. Wessel. United States Army Major Stephen W. Thornton. Oregon National Guard Staff Sergeant Kevin B. Davis. United States Army Sergeant Adam J. Plumendor. Oregon National Guard Sergeant, 1st Class, Mark C. Warren. United States Marine Corporal James Lee Moore.
Thank you very much, ladies. It is never easy to read the names, but read them we do. We read them at every gathering. We read the Vietnam, Oregon fallen last week when the wall was here, and we read our present-day soldiers because they are Oregon's best, and they didn't come home. But it is because that we read their names that they will never be forgotten, ever. At this time, I would like all of the Vets Helping Vets HQ advocates and members of the Board of Directors to please come and stand in front of the trailer and the stage here. For not for the frustration of one man, the frustrations of many would not be answered today. Victor is a veteran and served in the United States Marine Corps from 1967 to 1970. After his discharge, he was having medical issues and went to the Veterans Administration for help. That process took several years. He did receive 10% disability on his discharge from the Marines. His efforts to get additional help for medical issues fell on deaf ears at that time. Victor says there was virtually no help in the 1970s to help servicemen and women get their disability benefits. He studied VA law and started to pursue his own claims. It was not until 1997 that all of Victor's claims were processed. He admits it was quite a challenge. Over the years, Victor heard many other stories like his own and began to educate others and offer a hand to those needing assistance. The results are what you see around you today. An organization offering a hand up, not a handout. At this time, we want everyone to give the advocates and the Board of Directors a hand for all the efforts they have done on veterans. These men and women have been trained to assist you, first through Victor's efforts and now through their own. They are here to help you throughout the picnic, so if anyone has any questions, the VA Center is here, the advocates are here. They're here not only to have lunch, but to talk to each and every one of you. So make sure you take the opportunity to introduce yourself to the advocates. And if you have any questions, gentlemen, the Oregon Army National Guard, you might think you're too young, but actually you're not. Any veteran might be needing some assistance, and they're right here for you. So thank you. Is it too early for lunch? Yeah. Is it too early for lunch? Is it too early for lunch?
Yeah, it's too lunch. Let me go check and make sure. Talk about the sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just a bit too early for lunch. The salads are getting ready. The barbecue is still hot, but they're just needing a few more minutes. So I'd like to talk to you about what else we have here today. We have silent auction items in the blue pavilion in the back. We also have people walking around, and they are selling the raffle tickets at this time. And Victor and his crew has some wonderful raffle items. And this is also one way that Vets Helping Vets HQ raises money to assist with their travel expenses, but they are all volunteer organization. One thing that we also need to think of and remember are the sponsors. And one business that I would like to highlight, actually there are a number of them here. We have Dutch Brothers in the back, and they have some fine iced coffee if anybody needs some. But also I'd like to talk about the plaque in the back behind here. It's a picture of the United States of America. 2/3 of it is red, white, and blue, and the other, though you are in the back, you might not be able to see. There are names on this plaque. But this sign represents Home Depot. And this sign represents employees of Home Depot who across the nation stepped forward and answered the call, but they also lost their life. And Home Depot recognizes them and honors them by having this sign made for the Albany Veterans Day Parade, and they carry it through the parade in honor of their employees who not only served their business, they served their country, and unfortunately they didn't make it home. So for all of the businesses that help put on a program like this, I would like you to remember to support them as they support our veterans. So I'm going to take just a moment and read a few names. And though the names might be long and you might think, oh, they're just businesses, they're the ones that support our veterans. They're the ones that open their doors. They're the ones that employ our veterans when they come home. And for our men and women that are returning home, there is no better thing to hear than, yes, son, or young lady, you are hired. So we'd like to thank Arts Plus Signs and Design, Bill's Flower Tree, Bimart, The Frame House, K-Gal Radio Station, Netzel's Painting in Sherwin-Williams, Pizza King, Walmart, Dutch Brothers, Hog Heaven, and again, Home Depot, Influx, Jano's Trophies, KB Sound, Red Barn Berry Farm, the Santiam Liquor Store, Trippin Family Farm, Trade Winds Transportation, Willamette Community Bank, and all the other sponsors. There is a long list in the back pavilion. And again, we thank you. When you go and visit a company like this, make sure that you ask them if they give a veteran a discount, because most do, but also thank them for supporting our veterans.
We'll start with do our prayer. McGinnity.
And at this time, I would like Pat McGinnity to come forward for the blessing of the lunch.
And then we want our disabled and our elders to go first.
Pat, you should be able to just go ahead and do it from right there, I think.
He's in front of the speaker.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this wonderful day. We thank you for the gift of your Son. We ask that you send a legion of angels to protect all of our military people, both here and overseas. Father, we ask your blessing on the food, and I pray these things in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
At this time, lunch is served. What we would like is, if anyone is needing assistance, to please just follow through, but let those that might need assistance, any of our disabled veterans, please part the ways and let them go first. And if anyone needs anything brought to a table, we can do that also. But please enjoy the lunch, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We have several bands that will be here. We have the Heart of the Valley hula dancers that will be coming. So for the rest of the day, please enjoy the music, enjoy each other's company, enjoy the lunch, and thank you for your service. And to those that have never heard it, welcome home.